system of capitalism and imperialism and the white supremacy that was poured into its foundations and all throughout its history from the beginning has got to be overthrown.
When all of this dies down, do not get it twisted. The people that are going to have the most to pay is going to be the black community. We don't get to check out of this work. It is part of our work. We were born in this work, and this work never leaves us.
Hell no! Hell no! We won't go! We won't go!
I mean, we got 100% purity evidence of violations by the people that are supposed to be serving us. If they are supposed to protect and serve us, why should we have to answer to them?
We're gonna keep this moving on because this is what we do.
I hope it's peaceful. What I've been telling my moms and our Moms United for Black Lives group is that I'm not gonna borrow trouble, but I'm gonna be ready if it finds me.
And he was all about good trouble. That's what this is all about, good trouble. We gonna get in trouble, but it's gonna be some good trouble. Understand that?
I attacked the building. I don't want to deal with the feds again. It's horrible. It's pathetic. Grow up.
We are not here to cause anything. We are here to make a statement. Peacefully, non-violently. That's what this movement is about.
And we're coming up at 10:30 here on Portland CW. Time to catch you up on tonight's top headlines and some breaking news. 4 people shot tonight in Northeast Portland. This happened on Northeast Halsey Street near Gateway Discovery Park. The victims all taken to area hospitals. Their conditions not known at this time. Right now the area is sealed off. That's from Northeast 104th to Northeast 106. From Northeast Wasco to Northeast Halsey. Our Jennifer Dowling is on the scene and will bring you more information as it's released. But once again, more shootings in Portland after a record number of shootings in July. It looks like August will shape up to be the same thing. And
what's his name? George Floyd! Say it again! George Floyd! Say it again! George Floyd! Say it again! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor!
Everyone up! Everyone up! Everyone up! That's what 9 minutes feels like without a knee on the back of your neck.
president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, kind of stepped in it a little bit with the Seattle Police Department in their propaganda video that they made, because the Seattle Police Department claims that they gave them no permission to use the body cam video to make their basically a political advertisement ad, and that they were not supposed to do that. On the other side of the coin, the city or the Seattle Police did not issue a takedown order. So it was probably just more positioning of, well, we didn't give them permission, but it's okay if they use their stuff. Oh, we have some snowflakes in the comments. Precious little snowflakes. Yeah. They look so terrifying, don't they? The comments from the people on the right crack me up, right? Because they breathe in one breath and go, oh, look at all those losers, wimps, pussies. They're just cowards. And now it's like, oh my God, they're a threatening mob.
what we've been working with. This is our mask store.
Oh, you really just completely converted over?
Yeah, it's five. I think we're the only mask boutique in the country. It's kind of neat. We're pretty proud of them. We tailor them like clothing.
Yeah, and so tell me, you told me before you took old Gucci bags and things that.
Yeah, in the beginning we were just having fun with the time we had, and we took Gucci bags. For instance,
Gucci bags that were delivering that you would.
like when you bought shoes.
Okay.
You know, you get those little bags.
Okay.
Like for instance, oh, they took them all. Oh no, they here. This is a batch we just got, so we would take
Oh, wow.
a Prada shoe bag,
Okay.
and then we would make a mask out of it, and just.
Okay.
And we wrote letters to the companies and everything like that, and we were just sort of making. You know,
Making lemonade out of lemons.
yeah, we just
here,
had,
yeah.
everybody was doing so much medical that we wanted to, you know, we do a lot of handmade clothing and stuff, and we took that approach to, you know, making a cool mask just for, do that part of it.
A different demographic, you know, or
Yeah, and
price point.
it'd be
you
nice,
could-
like our customer, they're not gonna buy a suit right now, but they need some masks, and they have some cool ones just to,
Yeah.
you know, and they still work, they're 3-layer, and they were just a labor of love a little bit. So anyway, there's quite a few taken, and they left some, so.
Oh, so some were taken last night, but they
Yeah,
not
so
all.
we had
Okay.
like all the women's designer ones were here.
Okay.
And then most of the men's designer ones were here. And then
Okay.
they just took random ones here.
Okay.
We
And then
just
what
done-
happened downstairs?
Yeah, let me show you that.
Downstairs is your men's store.
It eventually was men, but we took the women's boutique to make room for this and put it in the beginning. Watch your step, there's a lot of glass.
Okay.
And this would normally be dark. The only light that stays on is one of these, so they probably came into darkness, so. This is the women's. She had we were reselling some Gucci shoes and wallets were all here.
Oh, the wallets are gone?
Yeah, and there's some wallets gone there. Wallets on top of there were gone.
Okay.
It looks like,
Well,
I have to go, there's just little stuff, but they took a bunch of jackets and I see holes in suits.
okay.
I had just done a video of our store, not for any security purpose, just to sort of show the outlines. Like I'll probably have to go through and see what the.
Yeah, there's like little holes in the.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they went for all the handmade Italian
Oh, so
expensive ones, you know.
did it look like time was spent discerning?
Well, the thing is, I don't understand it because how they knew that this was the good stuff. Because people weren't really coming down here, you know what I mean, and during the day. This was kind of closed, and but they you know, so it looks like there's a hole of stuff
Okay.
here.
And
Some
this
random
closet
suits
here,
Yeah.
what happened here?
That just got ransacked. I mean,
Oh,
that's-
okay.
they went through boxes or something. I don't know. It's just, yeah. There wasn't even good stuff back there. It was just stuff, but they just went through it, just threw it all around. So
Okay.
then,
There's your iPad there. That.
oh really?
There's an iPad right there.
Interesting.
I wonder who, is that yours or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so. I hope it's one of theirs.
Yeah.
So
Well-
there's and then we kind of turned our down here into a laboratory for the masks. It was like a factory, and then we just make masks to go upstairs. There's a big chunk of suits taken out there.
Yeah.
So this is full. I'm not sure what's happened here. They graffitied the mirror. And
Yeah, that's the signature acronym there.
and then not much yet. They were in my tailor shop, but
Okay.
it's owned by my tailors. I don't know. He's gonna have to come down and see if they. It didn't look like they destroyed anything.
Okay.
So, and then lastly, just back here.
So people came all the way back
Yeah, all
into
way
the
back here,
sort
and
of.
then, you know, this sucks. I mean, it's like they had to make a tag on the door.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know what,
Yeah, you can-
why that's necessary. They went through the fridge and left some food on the floor. And
Okay.
it's just little pockets of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
I just hope they didn't take some. You know, we had customers that paid for suits for their weddings eventually, so I just hope they
Yeah,
didn't take
right.
something that was already paid for or something. So.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, it's just little moments that they destroyed, so we'll just have to sort it out. Everybody.
This lights me on fucking fire. Pardon my French. Who do they think they are? Those are the devil's children. I'm serious.
I hope you got that on film and you put it on something.
the Antifa guys kicked one of the motorcycle bikes, I guess. And then the police officer tackled him down and got arrested, so they escorted him out. So not the place to come to be protesting. These bikers are very pro-Trump around here, and you don't jack with these guys. Man, they mean business. So here comes. They're all gonna put him up in the van. Keep it safe. Load him in. Blocking the street. He's gonna block the street.
Hey, Antifa guys, y'all need Jesus Christ in your life. You need Christ, man.
I'm also a pastor.
You're a pastor? And you hate our country? Really? You're a pastor and you hate the police? Really? Where'd you get taught at? You need to repent and really get born again. We'll make sure that we pray for you guys. Well, there they go.
There they go.
It is actually quite a bit of a sidestep from our usual mission. When we originally formed, we formed with a very specific mission to inspire people to stand up and oppose the far right. A lot of us already had connections with the medics and worked really closely with other coalition groups that are doing a lot of mutual aid work. So it was just a really natural progression for us while we aren't doing our normal work to use the infrastructure we already have built and sidestep into this while it's being needed by the community.
It's a collection of activists and anti-fascists from the Portland area. We are producing hand sanitizer because a month ago it was sold out in stores, it was sold out online, and we knew that there were a lot of vulnerable communities who didn't have access to it and who needed it. People who work jobs that require them to be out in public, people who are unhoused, who don't have access to running water and soap all the time. This is truly a mutual aid project. We are relying on community donations to fund this so that we can keep providing this to the people who need it the most.
I think the overlap in interest is really in the sense of community defense and also in the sense of like communities supporting themselves. We don't need to rely on the state. There's a lot of power in like people power and community building. This was a way to provide supplies to populations that had no other way of getting them.
Imagine that, bro. That's your fucking nightmare, nigga. That's hell. You know what I would do to you with these? I don't need a gun, nigga. These right here will fucking take you out quick, nigga. I'll probably bust your brain, nigga. Word to everything. Meet. A couple of them. That's why the pussies be like, a black man. I'm that nigga. Man, suck his dick. You wanna go over and suck his dick?
All groups should practice self-monitoring and remain peaceful. Members of differing views should remain on opposite sides of the roadway to best ensure the safety of all those present today.
So going back like 2 weeks, the alt-right and the ilk came down and they were firing off bullets into the crowd. I was on the scene when they threw up a pipe bomb, a PVC and the gunpowder explosive out of a car.
Whoa!
It does seem like in the past probably 1 to 2 weeks, the alt-right groups, a lot of the groups from Vancouver and just outside of the city have been trying to make more and more coordinated efforts to come out and defend justice or back the blue.
Today was a couple of things colliding. Number one, there are these Save the Children, whatever rallies that have been a couple of 100 of them occurring around the country that are connected to QAnon.
Joe Biden is a pedophile! Joe Biden is a pedophile! You want to go Chinese communist?
And then there also, on Sunday, a man was assaulted outside of a 7-Eleven downtown, and it's been blamed on Black Lives Matter, even though the person who was assaulted says that the people who did it were not protesters. It became a big thing in right-wing media.
Without law and order, we're a failed country, and it's time that people stand up and say enough is enough and come down to town and support our brave police officers.
We threw this No to Marxism event out here today because we're trying to bring awareness to Marxist, Marxism spreading all through these different cities like Berkeley, Portland, Seattle, and different places, and they're taking the cities over, rioting at night and bullying people with their communism. So we're out here to protest that, and hopefully it'll stay peaceful.
They came in motorcycles first. That's when I jumped on the street with a few other people, did what we could to block them. I just wasn't gonna let those motherfuckers off the street.
And then there are also a lot of Proud Boys, a lot of militia types showed up, some with guns, all with weaponry of some sort, and intent on fighting.
Hey, motherfucker!
While I was just sort of filming, one guy slammed me in the hand and broke my finger with a baton. It's pretty normal, thing for these people. There's just usually not so many of them.
Talking about getting a gun on that side.
I honestly can't believe the police haven't come through already. Honestly, there's been numerous smoke emissions launched by that side, paintball guns on both sides. One of them pulled a gun.
We've been dealing with the feds, we've been dealing with law enforcement. What we saw today, what we experienced today, that was a fucking different beast of its own, man.
This weekend, it was just, more escalation. And we saw them becoming more and more bold and also emboldened by the police and the feds. So that just tells us once again that it's just a shift change. It's the same fight. We see the same guys over and over again, mostly the same chuds.
For people that don't know, what's a chud?
A chud, it's like a man-child. It's that personality type to just want to be in control of shit because you don't have control of your own shit. So you just go be something like a cop, or try to be. They're just chuds, man. They do chud stuff.
What do you go to do? Go on phone.
Hey, don't do that thing to them! Don't Don't do that in the fucking van. Like, why would you have to do that in the...
It was a lot of bear mace, and then there was a return of pepper spray. And that's what eventually got, I think, the people, the alt-right instigators out of the area. The Proud Boys aren't real military strategists. They're just some dudes. And when the shit gets hot, they dip like everybody else.
Where the police? Where the police? Shut the fuck up, white bitch. How you feeling?
What?
To be able to get through that, and a lot of people were really worried about going down. I was on the phone with a lot of people that morning who were hitting me up like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm like, listen, man, we just got to be there.
We showed up to represent Portland, and we showed up in big numbers. And I'll tell you what, the power of our community, the strength of our people, and the fact that we've been doing this for 87 fucking days, and we've been getting our asses beat by DHS, by the fucking feds, by PPD, we can handle this shit and we can handle them. And if they come back next Saturday, we'll fucking handle it again. We are strong. I promise you, we are fucking strong.
Downtown Portland in crisis. That's the message from business leaders to the mayor, how they feel about the future.
And school schedules up in the air for parents, one of their biggest concerns for the new school year. Plus,
yeah, it's a pretty scary time.
A local pot shop robbed by 3 gunmen. The owner assaulted, and they're not alone. The warning tonight.
Live, you're watching Coin 6 News at 5. Watching out for you.
And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Tilken.
I'm Jeff Gianola, and after weeks of violent protests and the pandemic, downtown business owners worry if downtown Portland will even ever bounce back. And they had a chance to ask Mayor Wheeler that question this morning.
Coin 6 was in on a meeting with the business community where some spoke bluntly about their safety concerns. Our Lisa Balick is live in downtown Portland with this new information.
Yeah, for anybody that's been downtown recently, it is very quiet, too quiet. It should be filled with people enjoying the downtown, visitors, but we're not seeing any of that. And there's a lot of concern from the business owners that this could be the future if something's not done.
Our store's loss is probably going to hit $1 million. And the police have told me that it's under the investigation's been suspended.
Mayor Ted Wheeler listening to some 70 business leaders, from retail to real estate, upset with how downtown Portland is in a crisis.
We are talking about hiring escorts to safely walk with our employees to and from our various downtown locations.
The nightly protest violence, damage to their stores, and the increase in crime, police admit there are not enough officers to respond quickly at times. The mayor promised he'll commit city money to clean up downtown and keep it that way. He also plans to add 300 to 500 new shelter beds to help people living on the street. The business community knows that after 5 months of protests and the pandemic, they can't hold out much longer.
Sitting around and waiting for some truly committed and frankly violent and poorly directioned individuals to stop doing that behavior is not an option anymore. We have to clean up, and if we have to go out every single morning, we will.
Mayor Wheeler, who's also the police commissioner, met last night with command staff at the police bureau. He revealed they discussed ways to try and stop the destruction, such as containing those doing the violence, making targeted arrests, and getting additional support. The mayor says he'll meet with the new district attorney next week to discuss how to make sure violent protesters are charged, not just caught and released. Now, as part of these efforts, a week from today, there is going to be a big volunteer cleanup downtown led by Solve. As for the protests and changes we may see there, we'll have to see what happens tonight. And you'll hear from the mayor coming up tonight at 6. Live in downtown Portland, Lisa Balick, Coin 6 News.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Day 2 of tense homeless sweeps in downtown Denver. Today, we saw a larger crowd gather to confront police, and we saw more homeless advocates arrested. And we heard from people with very real concerns that protesters don't respect these officers as human beings.
Now, protesters say it's a two-way street. They say they've been bullied by cops who have used excessive force.
Obviously, there is no easy solution, and Denver 7's Russell Haythorne spoke to people on all sides of the issue and joins us now. Russell?
Yeah, and this one had been here a long time, this homeless encampment. It was known as Jerryville, named after the homeless vet who tried to keep it clean and tidy. But the city came in today and said it had become unsanitary, leading to a showdown. A clash between Denver police and homeless advocates. This time in broad daylight, you see a guy lunge at police holding a skateboard as a shield, then police officers pepper spraying the man, arresting him and others.
These illegal encampments are not good for anyone.
This, just the latest sweep of homeless encampments in Denver.
I'm glad this is really happening.
Carolyn Burnett lives near here and says the sweep was long overdue.
They're fighting all the time. The drug activities are going on. You can't even enjoy your TV at night. You know, if you want to open your window, even to sleep.
And beyond that, she says it's a health hazard.
There's no fresh air. Every day as you walk out, all you get is their bacteria.
But homeless advocates say this highlights a crisis in our city.
What's happening is people are being terrorized, traumatized, and pushed to nowhere by a city who tries to make it look like that they have something to offer people. Affordable housing is not affordable.
Jerry Burton does not blame the police officers.
Who is their boss? The boss is the mayor. And the mayor tells the chief tells his officers to go out and implement what the mayor wants done. This is the Mayor Hancock's fault, period.
The Denver Department of Public Health says it finally deemed this area a public health hazard. The city of Denver says it's doing what it can, but could always use more resources.
We certainly need more housing resources, but we do offer shelter, services, and supports.
Burnett and others say it had to go.
These people got to start being responsible for their own lives also.
Denver doesn't have housing right now for these folks.
And that's the distinction. Many city leaders say there's plenty of space in the shelters, but many homeless people don't want to be in the shelters right now because of COVID-19 and the lack of social distancing, which is just further exacerbating the issues. This one cleaned up today. We'll keep you posted on these developments. For now, we're live in downtown. Russell Haythorne, and back to you.
Yeah, this is so complicated. Thank you, Russell.
We demand that the City Council reduce the Portland Police Bureau budget by at least $50 million each year going forward. They must continue decreasing the PPB budget by at least $50 million. City Council must also immediately eliminate vacant positions and fold this funding back into the General and Special Appropriations Fund. Implement an immediate hiring freeze and commit to ending any new hires of Portland Police Bureau sworn officers. And some of these we've won here. Immediately eliminate funding for the following specialty units: the Gun Violence Reduction Team, SROs, and Transit Division. And the only way, again, the only way to stop police violence is to defund, disband, and fully abolish the police. Abolish the police! 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 And that can only stop when their presence is eliminated. We demand the PPB end the relationship to the federal 1033 program, which supplies militarized weapons, gear, and vehicles to local police departments across the country. We must divest City of Portland cannabis tax funds from the PPP budget and invest them into reparations for those harmed by the war on drugs, which disproportionately targets Black communities for activities that are now legal. Immediately stop expansion of the Portland Police budget by ending all budget increases. City Council must commit to never vote for PPP budget increases again. Neighborhood response and service coordination team and the behavioral health units. These funds must be redirected. These redirect funds allocated for gang policing towards anti-violence programs unaffiliated with law enforcement. Provide reparations for Black Portlanders targeted by gang policing and other investments. Eliminate these positions entirely by reducing the total number of officers, not just by folding them back into general sworn officer positions. Immediately stop policing protests. We know that cops bring the riot, not the demonstrators. We're not simply asking for them to stop using tear gas, flashbangs, or other less lethal weapons, because if they'll do, they'll just shift the way they enact violence. We want them to stop enacting the violence altogether. Immediately end the use of police responders to health or mental health calls and wellness checks, and implement alternative responses that are not led by or contingent on interaction with the police. We demand they immediately terminate the contract between the Portland Police Bureau and Portland Business Alliance for the Clean and Safe Enhanced Services District. And we demand they immediately eliminate police presence in historically Black neighborhoods, communities of color, and areas with high houseless populations in order to reduce the fear, ongoing trauma, violence, and the oppressive conditions which impede people's daily survival.
Bunch of losers. Your grandfather probably was a Confederate in the Confederate Army. Go to hell. Fuck you, quit your job, you lame ass bitch. Fuck you. Hey, politician, quit your job. Go. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump.
Around here, there's people during the day trying to get to work, and it impacts them. You know, they're the ones who end up suffering.
So, but this was going on, and there wasn't like intervention. I mean,
Eventually, but you know, you always have to make a decision when you have this kind of activity going on. Do you introduce the police into it and run the risk of making it worse? Or do you just use investigative means to find the people who did this and arrest them later? And you know, that's not an exact science, unfortunately. But this is a really motivated group, and you know, one of the things I'd like to just people to understand is that this activity here that we see night after night, this is not just a police bureau problem. This is a Portland community problem. You know, this is a group of people that nailed doors shut at North Precinct last week and set the building on fire. And we heard a lot of community members come out. We heard what they had to say about that on Friday. That's what this is. So, you know, as a community, there's a decision to make. Is this what we want in our community? Do we tolerate this? I don't know.
This brings attention. This brings negative attention. There is negative attention. This is negative attention. This is what the fucking country's focusing on.
eastbound, westbound, shut down. Thousands and thousands of people. Oh shit! Holy shit!
Holy shit.
He's dragging his trailer. Oh, there's a car going after him. Holy shit.
Holy shit, he's gonna try and flee.
Holy shit! That car just crashed into it.
Shit. Damn, it's out of view. Oh, that is not good.
Holy shit. So, a pickup truck hauling a trailer just went around the slow-moving cars that were acting as a barrier.
Hit
another car.
It hit one of the pace cars.
Off with his head.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
Federal agent, ICE, federal marshal, Portland police, sheriff, state police, it doesn't matter who you are. We want you to quit your job and get the hell out of our city.
Turning to the unrest in America, Portland police declared an unlawful assembly and made 11 arrests after a crowd of people marched to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement office last night. Elise Haas was outside the federal building with what happened on that 90th day of protest.
The ICE building in South Portland was the focus of last night's protest. There's new graffiti that's been spray painted on the wall. I've also found this at the scene. These appear to be rubber paintballs, and I found them on the sidewalk as well as in the streets out here. Another thing that we've noticed is several empty cartons of eggs, as well as egg yolks and egg shells splattered across the area. So police tell us that this really all started at 10 o'clock at a nearby park just 5 blocks away. The group gathered there and then marched here to the ICE building. Police say as soon as they got here, they began vandalizing the building. They say they spray painted graffiti and knocked out a security camera by shooting it with paintballs. That's when federal protection officers came out to push the group back. Portland police say officers were hit with all kinds of things, ranging from bottles, eggs, to rocks. One officer was hurt when a rock hit their leg. The group was told to move out several times, but didn't. So Portland police moved in to push the crowd back, making several arrests in the process. Around 11:30 last night, some of the group came back to the ICE building. Officers say someone started spraying PPB officers with mace, while another person started setting a fire. Portland police say they made a few targeted arrests and then disengaged, but the group kept throwing rocks at them. And for those targeted arrests that were made overnight, Portland police say they were for disorderly conduct and for interfering with a peace officer. For more information about those arrests, head to KOIN.com. In South Waterfront, Elise Haas, KOIN 6 News.
Get the fuck out! Get out! Make sure you post that shit.
I definitely am. I ain't moving. They just fucked these Black Lives Matter people up at Speedway for nothing. They wasn't doing shit. They wasn't doing nothing. Nothing. No, I got the vehicle. Go, 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 go. He jumps in their car. That's the police inside. That's 12. And they got cars, Jeeps with no plates on them. All the police riding in Jeeps and cars with no plates.
Fuck off! Get it back! What you mean they do that?
Oh my God.
This is not justice that they're looking for. This is destroying things.
I don't say this to diss the police department, but when I hear my sons talk about things that they never brought up to me when it happened, and I asked them why, and they were just kind of like, well, what was you gonna do? Well, we didn't want you to do nothing. I say this, you can't give me a pass and kick their ass. You can't do it. You got several NBA players that call this their home. You got several black executives who call this their homes. You got several school bus drivers somewhere that call this their home. So if you're gonna be one way to every brother and sister I see in here with their face, and I know they done been through it, then put me through it too. Because I could come up here and honestly say nothing's ever happened to me in Westland, but before I put that uniform on, I was a black man. When it was on, I was a black man. Now that it's off, I'm still a black man, just like you.
Actions are terrific. Injunctions, and there have been a couple of injunctions from the federal judges here recently, may not have been followed yet, but at least they have spoken. But those two are not enough. There is more to be done. We must invoke the criminal law. The Multnomah County District Attorney and the United States Attorney must convene grand juries and inquire into the legality of the actions of the federal and state police. Now, I think the new DA, or soon-to-be DA, Mike Schmidt, said he was going to be here. I think he is here. And if so, Mike, this is for you. Your predecessor has said with the Attorney General that they're opening an investigation. I implore you, carry it through with a grand jury, with subpoena power, because as you and all the lawyers here know, shooting a person in the head with a supposed non-lethal weapon of some sort, as depicted in the video, may well be a crime. It may be attempted murder. It may be assault. And it may be part of a conspiracy, depending on who in Washington said what and gave what direction. And if there's going to be a grand jury investigation, my thought is it should not focus solely on the people here standing in front of the courthouse wearing the camo uniforms. It needs to find out who gave the orders. And they need to be part of a prosecution.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! And we stand with the grieving family of George, those that are in Minneapolis,
We stand tonight with them to let them know they are not in this fight alone.
Take the streets tonight! Take the streets tonight with us! Don't forget your power. Look at us. We are so powerful right now. Even the fascists who said they were going to come here, the white supremacists said they were going to come here and harass us, aren't here because they're afraid of you.
It's a lot of y'all that have never been asked to get on your knees and put your hands up. I want everybody right now on their knees with their hands up. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm a cop with a gun to your head. I'm a cop with a gun to your head, and I want you to get down and put your hands up. No, but give me your ID. No, sir, why are you reaching? What are you reaching for? Is that a weapon? No, sir, that's my skin. No, sir, that's a weapon. Sir, don't move. Sir, don't speak. Keep your hands up, black boy. Keep those fucking hands up. Back up, we've got a black man. We've got a black man and he's going for his gun. I think he has a gun. I need backup. Call the whole precinct. Because when we get pulled over, it's never a regular fucking traffic stop. Never.
Nigga, you in my shit, bro. You in my shit, bro. Get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. I'll beat your ass in your mama ass. Whoever the fuck this bitch is, bro. Get the fuck off my shit, nigga. Nigga, you get the fuck off my shit too, bro. Hey, look, like nigga. Yeah, think about it again, bro. Cause you keep following me, I'ma punch your shit, nigga. Bro, quit fucking following me with
I'm just
shit,
filming.
Alright, then go the fuck over there with it, bro. Quit fucking following me with it. Bro, I beat you, nigga. I'ma beat your ass, bro.
Get away from me. I'm just filming.
Stay away from that.
Y'all gonna tolerate that? Come on.
Block me and shit, bro. Get the fuck off my shit, bro.
You just assaulted him.
I'm gonna stay out from my people. I just want to let you know that. You go off and you put paws on somebody, then you feel like a bigger man. You know what I'm saying?
Switch around. We gotta go in front of Trump Tower. Let's go. You guys out of the bathroom? Let's go. Let's go. Streets closed. Let's go. Everyone out.
Black Lives Matter in lowercase, all for it. Black lives do matter. But when you capitalize these letters, it's the organization. The organization is absolutely a Marxist, domestic, terrorist organization. Somebody ought to tell the racists that. Somebody ought to tell the racists, the Klan, that Black Lives Matter.
All lives are not getting shot in their back. All lives is not getting killed in police custody. All lives is not getting discriminated against.
R.I.P. George Floyd. We outside. R.I.P. George Floyd.
Join us.
Color you are, but Black Lives Matter, homie. Let's stand up and never give up. And fuck the 12 and the fuzz, cause we coming through together just to get this shit done. What is up? Hey! Love is the answer, love is the key, that is all we really need. I said love is the answer, love is the key, bringing peace, that is all we really need. Thank you.
Fuck Ted Wheeler! Stay in the group!
Thank you so much for using your body as a voice in occupying space. That is necessary in times when we are bound by the institutions that are supposed to support us. Thank you. I am not going to sit idly by while somebody creates a narrative from my existence. Our existence is our own. We own it. As soon as we lock arms like this night here, we show them they ain't untouchable. Y'all not untouchable. Y'all gonna get touched, you're gonna see those bars. As soon as they listen, we gotta stay consistent. We gotta stay consistent. When Martin Luther King was assassinated, you remember how they marched? It wasn't one day, it wasn't 2 days, it was weeks. It was weeks. It was fucking weeks. This shit don't come one day. It's gonna take time, baby. But I'm here for the fucking long run. I ain't got nothing but time. Now tell me you're fucking with me. Are you with us? Are you with us? Hands up. Don't shoot. 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 Hands up. Look at this. We got people arm in arm that don't know each other, giving out water. We got fucking bags of fruit and oats and shit. We're out here. I've never seen this much love from people I don't know. So my question to you is this. What is your value? Do you know your value? Or have you been told your value? Do you truly understand your place in this world? When America was first established, it was established by white men. They tried to coerce the Indians into treating them how to cultivate the land, and they wouldn't do it. What did they do instead? They snatched us up. They confused the hell out of us, discombobulated us, man. And they used us, our power, our strength, to plow those fields, to create America. We are the backbone, dog. We have been lied to this entire time.
If Jacob knew what was going on as far as that goes, the violence and the destruction, he would be very unpleased. We need healing. We are humans. God did not make one type of tree or flower or fish or horse or grass or rock. How dare you ask him to make one type of human that looks just like you? I am talking to everyone. White, black, Japanese, Chinese, red, brown. No one is superior to the other. To all of the police officers, I'm praying for you and your families.
The pain in his father Can you imagine? This is real. This is real, America. This is real. But the medical diagnosis right now is that he is paralyzed. It is going to take a miracle for Jacob Blake Jr. to ever walk again.
I know that there are protests still happening in major cities across the United States. I'm just not seeing the reporting on it that I had
That's right.
for the first few weeks.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And they're not, this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
Again, this is JR with Hood Action News. We coming on 22nd Street, right in the heart of the hood, in the heart of the damage, chaos, and construction. If y'all notice, a lot of these businesses have boards on them that say Black Lives Matter or BLM on it. Wow, that's terrible. It gives me that feeling. You can actually smell the smoke. You can smell the char. You can feel like the eerie feeling, man, of what once used to be. We get our tacos from over here, man. It's so sad to see this community that we go to. You know, we get our phone cards from here, man. We get our hot Cheetos and Takis from here when we don't want to go all the way over to Walmart and Meijer, man. You know, look at this. You know, this is where they had their quinceañeras at, man. The essays, you know, this is where the essays be having their birthday parties at. This is where they sell a mattress at in the hood, man. And just to see all this desecrated, you know, it's ridiculous. It's still smoking. Still smoking. We gotta pray for this neighborhood, man.
Fuck you! No, listen. Fuck you! Beat me, bitch! Cuff me, bitch! Nice and tight, you pig. Maybe I'll lose my hand, I'll get a fucking... Yeah, fuck you.
Officer, I have word. Okay.
But remember, once they leave, you have to leave the area. They've already been given the order.
What does that mean? What's the area?
Like,
right now I have one squad at Flower, and I believe I have a few sprinkling of officers with the vehicle, but if you can verify that for me. Okay, yeah, from where we're at, it looks like we've got a few down there, so as long as we have the extra set of eyes, as you will release these guys from westbound, kind of as a rear guard portion.
I am the one who builds shit.
Do you have a fucking car? Does anyone have a car nearby? We need to get her in a car, please. Okay? There you go. There you go.
shit to another block. It's all about peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
I'd like to take this time to remind everyone that the left only supports women that are liberal women. Last night, after our beautiful First Lady Melania Trump gave her speech at the RNC, the left, like clockwork, brought out their Twitter fingers and started attacking her appearance and her accent and the fact that she is an immigrant. And Bette Midler tweeted, and I quote, "Oh God, she still can't speak English? She can speak 5 languages. How many can you speak? I also doubt that you would be walking down the street and criticizing any immigrant with an accent. What happened to supporting women and immigrants? Is that just not a thing anymore? Because I thought that's what your party represented. Feminism, women empowerment, supporting legal and illegal immigrants. Does that just fly out the window the minute it's somebody that you don't agree with politically? Doesn't surprise me. The party of diversity, mocking somebody that is diverse. Thank you for constantly showing your blatant racism and hypocrisy. Now wipe your mouth because your hate's drooling."
This is part of a traveling road trip. Basically, we're out going across the country, and today Portland being our stop. We come into an area, we scout it, we figure out what statues can be built, and we show up. All of our statues are living statues. We feel like it's more important to kind of show the soul of the actors, and they sort of morph and become the moment that he's left us with. First statue we had to deal with federal troops pulling people, protesters off the street. That was the van we brought in. We actually rented for Enterprise, rented a van, the exact place the troops did, and created a statue out of that. Over here, a second one was Trump interfering with the post office. Trump saying it's okay to, he protects the federal property except for the post office and the postal machines. And down here was "I wish her well, frankly," with the creepy quote that Trump had brought up Maxwell and Epstein. Of course, they're both connected to each other. And the idea that he would say and put out good wishes to her, but is yet to send out a good wish to the 14 and 15-year-old girls who are now adults that are struggling through being molested and essentially raped. So we called that out today. If Trump throws out the first pitch for a baseball game, we're going to be there. We will be there in his conscience everywhere he goes, right up to Election Day. And then with the efforts of sort of bringing awareness to some of the horrendous things that he's doing. I really look forward to ending making statues, living statues, on November 3rd. That's my goal. I don't want to make any more statues. It's exhausting, it's a lot of work, but I feel really blessed that the community has come together to support this and make it happen. And I'm very thankful for Portland being so cooperative in helping us make this happen today.
Furious tonight in Los Feliz. Some drivers say a suspected DUI driver hit their parked cars, and the LAPD apparently let him just walk away. A witness recorded video of him and the damage left behind.
They described the man as aggressive and yelling at officers. KCAL 9's Candace Crone has that story.
Oh. Yeah, come on, dude, where are the cops?
A neighbor who took this video says the man who tumbled over got out of this wrecked Dodge Charger after slamming into 3 parked cars in Los Feliz last Saturday afternoon. Witnesses say the driver was making a left turn onto Hillhurst Avenue from Los Feliz Boulevard when the crash happened. The damage left behind was tremendous. Katie Wicker says when the driver got out, she knew something wasn't right and couldn't believe what happened next.
He was completely intoxicated the entire time. It was apparent to everyone that was there. He was yelling at everyone. He was yelling aggressive comments at the police officers, at the ambulance that was there, at the tow truck driver, and he literally stumbled away.
Police were called to the scene. You can see the man wobble as he tried to open the driver's side door. Wicker, who knows one of the car owners, says she never once saw officers give the driver a field sobriety test. In fact, after they left, she recorded the man walking away.
We asked him why. We asked him why didn't provide him a breathalyzer test, and they couldn't give us any answers.
We reached out to the LAPD. They told us the officers on the scene make the call if they suspect someone is intoxicated. In this case, the officers decided not to. Neighbors are very upset.
He could have killed someone. He could have injured people. He could have done a lot more damage than he did.
A woman whose car was hit told me that she was able to track down the driver's information through her insurance. We tried contacting him, but were not successful. In Los Feliz, Candace Crone, KCAL 9 News.
Someone's stalking us.
Hey, buddy, why are you following us?
Ow! Ow! Did you just stab him? Bro, he just stabbed him, dude. Bro, he just stabbed him. That dude just stabbed him, bro. He just stabbed him, dude. He just stabbed him, dude. The guy right there. Get him! Get him! He stabbed him! Get him! Bro, he stabbed.
While I sit here before you as a middle-aged white guy who is fortunate in so many ways, I do believe that I have an important role to play in this transitional period. And the only way I can be effective at it is if I listen to my colleagues, particularly those who have different lived experiences than I do. That's what this moment in history means to me, in terms of really creating a city of Portland where everyone who lives here feels that they have an equal stake in the future of this community. And that starts with the fundamental belief on the part of everybody who lives here that they are safe in this community. And whether we like to hear it or not, regardless of what personal views we may hold today, the reality is very clear, it's in our face, it's unmistakable that many, many people in this community who are residents in this community, they are our neighbors, they are our co-workers, they are our friends, they do not feel safe in the city of Portland. And that requires me, as the leader of this city, to fundamentally rethink what safety means in this community. And now I'm going to say this. I not only support the reforms that we put on the table, and I would argue this is the beginning. I actually believe we are biting off a lot right now, because keep in mind, once we vote for the budget, we still have to implement all of these changes. And as many of you know, I have proposed the most significant overhaul of oversight and accountability to policing probably this century. And there was a really good piece that was in the news a couple of days ago.
Hello? Thank you, Lilith. I appreciate it. I wanted to be here tonight. I wanted to hear directly from all of you about your demands. I do not want to give a speech because I do not want to take away from the moment or distract or take away from the voices that this movement elevates. But I thought it was very important for me to be here and hear directly the demands, and I appreciate it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Nope. You're not done. What did you promise? Tell us your promise.
What did you promise us from the police not to do that?
What's not going to happen tonight?
Hello? So there is a change. I made a commitment during that meeting. There are some of you who are wearing earplugs because of the LRAD, the sonic mode on the LRAD. I have sent out a directive. The police chief has agreed. The LRAD will not be used. No LRAD.
What about the tear gas? You're not done, Ted. You're not done. Tear gas. Tear gas. You gotta stop the fucking tear gas.
Hold on. It's clear they want to know how you feel about the tear gas. Let them know how you feel about the tear gas.
I do not like the tear gas. I think it's ugly. It is not focused enough.
What you gonna do about it?
The city of Seattle today, late this afternoon,
Seattle. We're not
banned the use of tear gas for 30 days except limited circumstances. We should do the same. Tomorrow, my colleagues and I will be making
Tonight. You have the power to do it tonight. Use your privilege, Ted. Use your privilege.
What's his name? Say his name! Say his name! That's why we're here, alright? An innocent black man died at the hands of people who were supposed to protect him. Died. We wish he was here today, but he's not. So all these people, alright? So real quick, give yourselves a round of applause, alright? Just real quick. Because without the people, we wouldn't be here. Portland has been doing an amazing job to stay peaceful in this protest, right? Because a lot of times when we riot, we march, all right? The violence that's left over, that's what they talk about, all right? Let's talk about the life this man lived, all right? Let's talk about the lives that we can live, all right? Yeah. But it starts with making change, all right? And how do you make change? You gotta vote on it, all right? As we see what happens when the wrong person's in office, all right? All right? You gotta vote. All right? But look, hey, it's more than just voting for the president. It's voting locally, all right? All right? Your governor, all right? All right? Officials are elected, all right? No, but look. Hey, your voice matters. Absolutely. All right, look, I'm not going to be here all day long, all right? I just want to say I appreciate you guys for not only giving me the opportunity to speak, all right? Talk about what's really going on. Because as a black man, I shouldn't have to wonder if I'm going to be able to make it home tonight, all right? I shouldn't have to worry if this cop pulls me over. Is my mama going to get that call? All right? These are everyday fears, right? Look. I was the first person in my family to graduate from high school. I was the first person in my family. Thank you. Hey, that deserves some applause, thank you. All right. But I was also the first person
to graduate from college, all right, in my family, all right? Hey, is it possible that I could be the first one in my generation to tell my kids that we don't have to be afraid today? Thank you.
Also tonight we have this. We had dueling protests at the City Hall in Gresham. City leaders held an emergency meeting today ahead of planned events to consider taking down the Black Lives Matter flag that's flying at City Hall in an attempt to avoid violence and destruction. Now, the original event was planned flag waving, organized by people from outside the community, and included messages on social media about tearing down the Black Lives Matter flag. A group of counter-protesters had planned to rally around the flag to protect it from being forcibly removed. So that was the scene in Gresham earlier this evening. But it was happening now in just the last minute. Police declare an unlawful assembly as protesters are gathered in southwest Portland in front of the ICE building on Macadam on this 90th straight night of protest. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Jeff Gianola. Protesters now squaring off with federal officers who just dispensed tear gas. Jacqueline Abad, live with that protest group right now. Jacqueline, what can you tell us? I see you got your gas mask on.
Yeah, I do have my goggles on, Jeff. You can see that there are federal officers and police officers here at this intersection blocking some of the demonstrators that have gathered outside the ICE building. Now, earlier this evening, about 100 people were at Carruthers Park and marched to the ICE building. Things, for the most part, were peaceful until we saw some people throwing water bottles in the direction of officers. That's when officers started pushing people back. They used some type of a green smoke at one point, and then when the people in the crowd went back to the building, that's when they started using flashbangs. And you know, I'm not sure if it's tear gas or pepper balls, but there is some type of spice in the air right now. And right now, this is what you see: officers just standing at the intersection, keeping the people that have gathered away from the ICE building. Just about a minute ago, we heard Portland police declaring this an unlawful assembly. We've also seen people who are out here who've been getting in arguments with people who live in these apartment buildings nearby. Again, this is developing as we speak, Jeff. But earlier today, we spoke with Mayor Ted Wheeler, who says that he would be meeting with Portland Police tonight to discuss police reform.
Enough is enough. It's time to rise up and to take immediate steps to repair and beautify our city.
Mayor Ted Wheeler addressing the nightly protests and riots over the last 13 weeks. On Tuesday night, people targeted City Hall and managed to get inside, breaking windows and glass doors. Police declared yet another riot and arrested almost 24 people. Coin 6 asked what he plans on doing to stop the violence.
I need to work with the police bureau to both, on one hand, create respectful place for nonviolent demonstrations to take place, and on the other hand, enact strategies that make it clear that we are going to arrest and hold accountable that small group of people who are engaged in the nightly violence. It has gone on way too long.
Wheeler says he's meeting with Portland police tonight to find out if they need more resources and ways to make the Bureau more accountable.
I will be asking them specifically, what immediate reforms can we put on the table to show faith with the public, that we acknowledge that while the men and women of our police bureau work hard, they can do better. All of us can, that they're an evolving organization, and that they will join us, that they will rise up, that they will link arms with all of us who are interested in addressing the issues that people in this community have been asking for.
Wheeler says he's also focused on economic recovery. Tomorrow, he will be meeting with the business community to see what help they need. And as for tonight, he's asking demonstrators to be peaceful.
Now back here live, these are the officers that are out here just reading the emblems on their uniforms. They're with DHS, or the Department of Homeland Security, and federal officers. Again, the ICE building is a federal building. Jeff, again, earlier this evening, things were peaceful as people marched over to the ICE building. Again, then we saw people throwing things at officers, including water bottles, flashing lights in their eyes, and that's when officers started to disperse the crowds using flashbangs, pepper balls, and we just saw them starting to load up some more pepper balls just a few minutes ago during my package here. And again, they are keeping people away from the ICE building at this time. Again, we also saw the officers use green smoke to disperse the crowds. Right now it's quiet, but we'll see how things escalate throughout the evening, Jeff. But this is what the situation looks like here at the ICE building. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, and once again, those are federal officers lined up behind Jacqueline there, and they're identified as federal officers, most from the Department of Homeland Security. So a situation we're watching. Jacqueline will probably be switching back to you within this newscast. Also tonight,
You be out here fucking asking for justice, but you're not. I don't believe your bullshit. Black lives matter. All lives matter. Black lives matter.
I stopped the violence or stop. It's about a protest. It's about a protest. You don't like it to me.
We represent the collective voice of healthcare professionals in Oregon. We might be trainees. I myself am a medical student. There are nurses, physicians, fellows, residents here. And we as health professionals want to first stand in solidarity with this movement, and second, make it known that we want to be of help and of assistance here. So there's two slogans that I want to bring to light. This is just symbolizing that yes, black people can be doctors too, even if we wield white coats. Whiteness is the symbolism of purity and sanctity, and my wearing it can be a direct contradiction of that concept. There's also something you see here, White Coats for Black Lives. It's a national coalition with varying chapters across the nation that are specifically centered on uplifting and moving forward progressive movements around Black Lives Matter. I think it's important for people to acknowledge that healthcare professionals acknowledge that death and dying of black people is a public health emergency. That it's not something we overlook, it's not something that we don't recognize as a profession, and it's something that we prioritize in addressing. So we kneeled for 9 minutes to represent the death and dying of George Floyd, who suffered from asphyxiation under the knee of a police officer. That was a representation of just 9 minutes of discomfort, 9 minutes of pain where your knee might have hurt, your shoulder might have burned. And it's a representation of a very short and condensed version of the pain that we as Black people experience every day. My call to everyone today is to then say that this should not be an isolated 9 minutes, that this should be a beginning or a start of continued conversations, action, and thought around this issue.
Amazing.
That 9 minutes as a representation is certainly not the breadth of what I expect from everyone that is attended here.
Anything can go off. Anything can happen at any time.
I'm all down to
Please be safe.
No. Anyway, of course.
Civil rights store strippers. No justice, no booty. We have strike.
The stripper strike is everybody coming together because not only are we experiencing discrimination against Black dancers and dancers of color, but we're pretty much tired as a collective of having no rights as far as being independent contractors, but having no say when you get to schedule your shift. The truth of the matter is Black dancers network with each other very well, and unfortunately we know where we're allowed to dance, where we're even allowed to audition, and where we aren't.
You know, you get through the audition process and then it's like no call back, you know, but then you send your other dancer friend in there, you know, and she's white and she gets hired, she gets called back that same day. And it goes further than that. And that's really why we're striking, because it's a known thing that nobody talks about, and it's a problem. And it wouldn't be accepted in any other industry, so why in ours?
Basically, we are asking that clubs take cultural sensitivity training. We're also asking for shift equality. If we do get hired, we're usually kept on day shifts or shifts during the week, which historically are not the more lucrative shifts. It's the night shifts and the weekend shifts. We have clubs that will tell us we're not allowed to play hip hop or rap music, but will allow white dancers or dancers with lighter complexion do that. And we're always told that it attracts the wrong crowd. The wrong crowd, most likely being people that look like me.
So we are not asking dancers to stop working. What we're asking is that the clubs sign on and that the rest of the community show their support for this. Go out to clubs, throw some money on butts, especially Black butts. We've been systemically disenfranchised, and I think that what we're trying to do here is make sure that people hear us this time. The strike is really to let people know that we don't have to do business with people who aren't working to better themselves. So we're not asking for a boycott, we're asking you to ask your local businesses what their anti-discrimination policy is and what they're doing to make things better, because we are the best city in the world as far as strip club goes, and as far as a lot of other stuff goes too. And so if we can be far and away ahead of everybody else, we'll just set a good example, because it's easy.
Topping our news this morning, for the first time in 6 days, Portland police did not declare it a riot, but an unlawful assembly, as a crowd of 200 gathered for a protest at the ICE building on Portland's south waterfront. Police say some people in the crowd spray painting the building, hitting a security camera with a paintball gun. Federal officers did come out to try and clear demonstrators and had eggs, bottles, and rocks thrown at them. One officer was injured. Portland police intervened, firing impact munitions and making 11 arrests. We also saw dueling protests in Gresham last night. A group supporting the police and President Trump gathered at Gresham City Hall. And one of the people in that crowd is a man accused of pulling a gun on counter-protesters Saturday in downtown Portland. So Black Lives Matter protesters then came to Gresham after learning he was there. Police separated the two sides and the situation stayed relatively calm.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is a civil disturbance and we've declared an unlawful assembly. Leave the area now or you will be subject to use of force to include crowd control munitions. Leave now. The area of Southwest Lincoln to West Burnside, NATO the 13th is closed. This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is a civil disturbance and we've declared an unlawful assembly. Leave the area now or you will be subject to use of force to include crowd control munitions. The group that is gathered at North Lombard Street and North Interstate Avenue must disperse to the east immediately. The group that is gathered at North Lombard Street and North Interstate Avenue must disperse to the east immediately. Do not interfere with officers. Do not interfere with officers taking lawful action. Stay back. Leave the area now, or you will be subject to uses of force to include riot control.
won't throw rocks, we won't throw stones. We won't throw rocks, we won't throw stones. We are the light. 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 Stones and bullets are weapons in an enemy's hand. But the greatest weapon that you have in your loin, in your being, in your possession, is the valuable commodity of your voice. Black Lives Matter!
There are a lot of clergy here who've come to say we speak for peace, who've come to say we speak for justice. Bible talks about people wandering in the desert for 40 years. For 40 years without a home, without a sense of justice, without a sense of meaning. We've wandered in this country for 400 years. And we're tired of wandering.
Talk to me while you're here. You said you can't take it. What do you want to say?
This is my son. This is my son. I'm here as a parent. I am here as everyone's parent. I cannot survive if anyone else gets their soul fractured. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I cannot survive if that happens. There is no reason for them to escalate this. This is a peaceful protest. This is a constitutional right. They are doing nothing. But that guy over there hit people with a stick in their stomach for no reason. They were backing up. Every other cop was pushing people with the sticks. He hit them. What the fuck is up with that? Is that de-escalating the situation? No. Why do you think they're pissed? You hit people, they get pissed. This is a First Amendment right.
Is this your first time out here, Marie? Or?
I support a medical tent to as many marches as I can. This is my first night on the front lines. I can't take this anymore. I was at Dominique Dunn's vigil with a medical tent. I heard the family. I can't take this anymore. This has to stop. No one else can get hurt.
We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. Stop.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This has been declared a riot. All persons must immediately disperse to the south and to the east. Failure to adhere to this order may subject you to arrest, citation, or crowd control agents, including but not limited to tear gas and/or impact weapons. All persons must immediately disperse to the south and to the east. This is the Portland Police Bureau. This has been declared a riot. All persons must immediately disperse to the south and to the east. Failure to adhere to this order may subject you to arrest, citation, or crowd control agents, including but not limited to tear gas and/or impact weapons. All persons must immediately disperse to the south and to the east. Disperse immediately. If you do not disperse to the east, you are subject to arrest or use of force to include crowd control munitions.
They're getting people in their cars and gas. That's our car right here. We were just trying to get through. Watch out, they'll grab you. Yeah, I don't got a fucking mask. I'm just caught in this. And you're just gas. The gas is good. No peace! 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 Urgent. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Jaywalking is not a crime.
Say it again.
You need to legally identify.
Don't let him take that mic.
You need to legally identify yourself. If a police officer has probable cause to stop you for a crime or a violation.
Correct. But is jaywalking a crime?
So, but not identifying yourself for
Is
that?
jaywalking a crime?
Jaywalking is a violation.
Is jaywalking a crime?
You know, there's a difference between a violation and a crime.
You are correct. But is jaywalking a crime?
Yes or no?
No.
Jaywalking is not a crime, but there have been approximately 10% of African American males that have been locked up in jail for jaywalking, and there's only 1.5% African Americans here in Portland, Oregon. So explain to me, if jaywalking is not a crime, why has there been approximately 10% of African Americans that have been locked up in jail for jaywalking? Okay, I'm listening.
And I think I've been willing to have a conversation.
Okay. You have been.
Okay.
And I appreciate that.
And my job here tonight is to make sure this remains peaceful.
Correct.
And this remains safe.
Correct.
Okay. I will more than willing have a conversation with you.
Hold on, y'all. Let him speak. This is the first time that we've allowed an officer to speak, and they are being nice enough to speak, so let's hear them.
I will have a conversation of how we keep this safe and peaceful tonight.
Correct.
And I will have a conversation with you.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it in this venue with thousands of people around us.
And I appreciate you saying that you will have a conversation with them.
So I will give you my contact info.
Awesome. You have a card?
I do.
Oh, I'll take it.
So do you understand how this venue to have a one-on-one personal conversation about specifics like that?
I want to know too. I do understand. Listen, hold on.
I'm willing to talk to anybody.
Okay.
And have a respectful dialogue. Because if we don't do that, then we are failing each other to move forward.
Correct. And I ask one more thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I appreciate, this is my last one, I promise. But I appreciate you having this dialogue with me. But what I am gonna ask you, Officer Jacobson, today, please hold everybody here, your officers, your man, you guys' brothership, hold them accountable.
Can I ask you a favor for me?
Yes, please.
I ask you to hold everybody here accountable to be peaceful as well.
The last 3 days I've been here and we have been peaceful. For example, last night, hold on real quick. For example, last night, nobody did anything and you guys tear gassed us and I was here in front of the fence and nobody touched the fence. Nobody threw any water bottles at you guys. We were very peaceful and you guys came at us. So my thing is this, I will hold everybody accountable if they are doing something wrong, but nobody did anything wrong yesterday. The only person that did anything wrong was your brotherhood.
So I was not here yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I was not on that line. I asked you to say today,
Yes.
today,
Yes.
hold each other accountable so that we can remain peaceful and your message does not get drowned out. Your message is important. It is important that people of Portland hear what you have to say.
Correct.
It's important that you have the ability to continue saying what you're saying. So if you remain peaceful, you will have that ability to do that.
And so all I ask is if we stay peaceful, you guys stay peaceful and allow us to have a First Amendment and using our voice. That's all I ask.
They looking back up.
Awesome. Thank you.
I was behind the protesters like I often am, and they were telling us to move. I stopped moving my vehicle, and they slashed my tires. They slashed both my driver's side front and rear tire, and smashed my window. I wasn't even moving. That was so unnecessary, but that's what the Portland police did to me. And also, it said on my rear window, it said press. They hit my back window so hard that there was glass on my lap. Glass flew all the way up here. There's glass on my dashboard. That's glass. That's the force with which they slammed. I'm press. I mean, I've been streaming along with you guys. You can see on the window. Sorry guys, I'm super shaken right now. So the cops told me to stop and not move my car. I stopped, but they just took out all their anger on me. I'm rattled, but I'm okay. Just some very kind people who witnessed it. Thankfully, a lot of people stopped, and a lot of people from the ACLU actually saw it happening, and other people live streamed it. So yeah, I was in my car, and they hit my rear window so hard that there was glass in my lap in the front.
Disperse to the north now. Move to the north now.
Racist, bro! You fucking loser! Fucking trying to run people over! Fuck!
His neck is not broken.
We know his neck's not broken.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Can someone stop?
You gotta use it.
Okay, I need someone to call 911.
I'm on.
A lot of reasons to come out tonight. It's mainly the fact that there hasn't been the necessary changes made in just police conduct, police society, and just quite frankly our society that's just really making like a significant change.
No, I was out here last night and then I decided to come back again today with supplies to make sure everyone's staying hydrated, getting snacks, nobody's blood sugar is going down. I brought extra face masks and I just want to make sure everyone's supported.
Black Lives Matter, so I mean that's as easy as simple as I can put it.
Yeah.
I mean it's just gotta try and do it peacefully. As you can see, there's been peaceful, so as you can kind of see it's a beautiful thing.
What brought you out?
Just to support the cause and support, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement and raise awareness of what's going on, and you know, keep that rhetoric or keep that movement going.
I think there are a lot of things that we could be protesting, and so I'm hoping that it will roll into things like defending our police and making sure that we actually can have a review board and look at what they've been doing, and also just making sure that hopefully more people of color are holding office and the organizations are getting funded, and that's something that we're hopefully going to be focusing on.
You know, there's so many instances of people dying each day from police brutality, negligence, or just silence in general, when really we should be promoting the fact that we shouldn't have this happen. Like, it shouldn't be normalized. It should be something that is just downtrodden. These people should be treated like criminals and not raised above a moral standard that everyone else is.
Are these your kids?
Yes, I brought both of my children. They're 10 and 11, and I think we started talking about police killing black people when they're about 4 and 5. So it's been an ongoing conversation for the majority of their lives.
Yeah, with kids it makes it hard, but I wanted to show them, you know, how peaceful a protest can be.
Yeah.
Even though they're young, but you know, they have to understand that parts like this is part of the progress, you know. So as I quote Frederick Douglass, like, it's easier to build strong children than to rebuild broken men. So right now we're technically risking our lives because coronavirus pandemic is still happening right now, and like the fact that there's not really that much social distancing really increases the likelihood of exposure. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if
after this, there were a lot more cases. But these people are here because of legitimate reason facing this nation. So you kind of got to balance like the two evils. It's like, hey, there's an undermined community that this is going to disproportionately affect. And really, you got to stand up for them.
He forgot that we have the right to seek redress from our government. And you know what's worse than making a Portlander mad?
What's that? Joe.
It's telling a Portlander what they can't do.
We will not fail. We will not fail. We will not fail.
What's his name? George Floyd!
With that being said,
George Floyd!
with that being said, I am here to say, do it peacefully. That's it. Do it peacefully. You don't have to destroy and let's keep it 1,000, y'all. We gonna have to pay for that shit to get rebuilt anyway. So stop. I'm real. I'm being 1,000. Who in here is a taxpayer? We gonna have to pay to rebuild that shit. So go down there. Do what they want you to do. File a grievance. Go down there and make a complaint. Go down there and demand to speak to people. Go down there and get educated. Go down there and do what you need to do and do it this way. Because look what happened. We've been doing this all fucking day. All day.
3 days.
All day. 3 days. And look what I did in 5 fucking minutes. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Your fight is my fight. My fight is your fight. Your fight is my fight. My fight is your fight. Yeah. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Take off your right here. Take off your right here. George Floyd! 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 I can't breathe! 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 George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd!
Yes, the Portland Police Bureau's use of overtime, a growing concern tonight. As officers rack up hundreds of extra hours handling protests, it's not a new problem. The Bureau has been understaffed for years, and we're now seeing its effects. The new report out from the city auditor today says the Bureau spent more than $15 million in overtime in 2018, going back a few years. Now, the auditor says, and for that year, on average, officers worked 20 hours of overtime a week.
George Floyd! 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 George Floyd!
I am a mother of 2 black boys. I have been working in the system for approximately 15 years for our black and brown kids. My question to you is, all these funds are going to bike. You have changed the Northeast Portland from 2 lanes to 1 lane. So you guys have money. So my question is, why are we not putting the money into the schools to educate these black and brown boys?
We should absolutely put more funding into the education.
Should or will? So, my
already put some of it in yesterday. Yes.
What about all of
How
it?
much?
Wait. And when you say that, hold on. And when you say that you're putting the money into the school, I'm not talking about Beaverton District. I'm not talking about Southwest Portland. I'm talking about North Portland, Northeast Portland, East County. That's what I'm talking about. And the reason why I know the money's not out there, I work no money. I've been at Harrison Park on 82nd that has no money. I'm currently in East County that, guess what, has no money. So I hear you saying the money is going there, but I'm not seeing it. And you know why I'm not seeing it? Because I'm in the schools helping the kids, trying to take the little bit that you give us and stretch it so that our kids can get educated. Now, if you really care, I really want you to put your money where your mouth is and put the money into the schools to educate the black and brown boys so there will not be any more RIPs. It's up to you to make that determination. You standing here today saying that you're going to do it, and if you don't, guess what? Kiana will come knock on your door and will ask you, why did you not do it after you said you were going to do it? Say that one more time.
I said, thank you, Kiana. I agree with you.
So on national news, out here in front of us, he said he's going to do it. So if he does not, we need to push the line because I am tired of them funding the school to prison pipeline. It stops today. It stops today. Our kids are the future and our kids are important. And as long as I'm alive, I will not allow any more black and brown boys and girls to die at the hands of police officers who I trust.
Education is the most important. Education is the single most important thing all of us can do for our society. And the city of Portland will make and has made investments in education, and we will push the state to further fund education. And we will focus those resources on communities that have been disproportionately impacted by negative educational outcomes. The city of Portland already made a commitment yesterday to do that. We will continue to do that.
And once again, I am not referring to a community. I am referring to, once again, our black and our brown kids, not a community, but specifically a group who is affected by. For example, your art tax is not going to those kids. The art tax is going to Southwest Portland, not Northeast, not North Portland. So why would I pay a tax, an art tax,
listen to black
every year, and the money's not going to our kids? So if you are saying that the money is going to go to them, send it to them. There are no black and brown boys. Well, there are, but the majority of the black and brown boys are not in Southwest. So stop sending the money to Southwest and bring it to North, Northeast, or East County. That's where they are. So that's where the money belongs. That's what I'm asking you to do. If you are going to be the man that stands in office and say that you are for the people, be for black lives. Not the people, black lives. That's what you need to be for. And if you really are for that, I need you to make action. If you're not, goodbye and leave and let somebody else who actually cares take control and help the black lives. If you're not for us, goodbye. Security, come on.
go outside staring at night? You know I'm afraid to leave my house at night because of you? You who swore to make me feel safe? I'm afraid to leave my house at night because of the police. And you're protecting me? Huh? Are you protecting me, sir? Are you protecting me right now? Tell me why when I leave my house, I can't jog in my own neighborhood. I'm afraid.
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Black lives matter! 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 Black lives matter!
Let's do this!
People ought to be able to make their own decisions. The vulnerable, I believe the vulnerable need to be protected, but you don't protect them by shutting down the state. There are ways to protect the vulnerable without creating the economic hardships that have obviously happened.
All get up!
Appreciate that.
Why don't you grab just a grab?
Exactly, and I get it. A lot of you have businesses, a lot of you have employees, a lot of you are just struggling to survive.
We just want the right to work and to have our incomes. That's it. Two more months of lockdown, 2 more months of quarantine. Not right. Not for our county. Not for any county.
I'm ready to go to a casino!
set up in these parks to call the Justice Center and the federal
We've got some new video coming in. These are protesters right after the president's speech tonight at the White House. Police escorting Republican Senator Rand Paul, and I believe his wife Kelly's with him there, through a crowd of protesters, apparently, intimidating and trying to share their message with him. He says tonight that it was a crazed mob of more than 100 people, and thanks to the local police department here in D.C., he says, quote, for literally saving our lives. There's a lot of that tonight on the streets of D.C. following the president's speech.
Oh, fuck. Here they come.
You fat fuckers! They didn't even do nothing, you stupid sons of bitches! Aren't you supposed to be chasing them north?
Oh.
That's tear gas.
That's mace.
So why are you out here tonight? Justice for George Floyd and justice for all the people. This is enough. Police brutality is not cool. We don't want to keep going through this. There's too many people, innocent people, every color, being murdered for what? Because they think they're above the law? They are the law, and they're supposed to follow the law, but they don't do that.
Our goals for today specifically are the same that we've had since Monday. We're wanting to protest. We want to block traffic in a way that disturbs the regular flow of society, because that's the best we can do with a peaceful protest. It just causes a disturbance but in a peaceful way, so we know that we are there and we have concerns that need to be addressed. And it's not going to stop until we're heard, until they address, until they acknowledge what we want to have change in our community, for the people of color, for our black community.
Just like the cry of the people during Martin Luther King's days and Malcolm X's days. Lord, we pray today that you would hear the cry of your people to make us free. In the name of Jesus, give us freedom. Give us peace. Help us to love one another.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops, they got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
As long as we all expose ourselves to people we otherwise would not be exposed to, that's when we start to build trust in the community. As soon as you stop saying, I don't know that black person, I'm scared of him, and walk up to the person and say, what's your name? Let me talk to you. Talk to a black person. I promise they're not gonna swing on you.
No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me, stand by me. So darling, darling, sing it with me.
By me, oh, stay.
Oh yeah, by me. Oh, darling, oh, stand by me.
That's right. Two streets, our streets, two streets, our streets,
I'll let you know when you're good. You're good.
George Floyd died, he said, "Mama." When George Floyd died, he said, "Mama." And then after he said, "Mama." And then after he said, "Mama," he said, "Officer, I can't breathe."
I am fighting for my kids. They're getting older and I don't want them to be afraid to walk down the street or get pulled over by the police. There needs to be some type of reform. I never knew so many white moms, people of that nature, cared so much about Black lives and the whole movement. And so I think it's amazing standing next to our sisters. They're fighting the fight with us.
When we saw these moms forming a wall, we thought, well, our generation maybe should go down there too and make a statement for people our age, so that young people know that while it's their world and their future, we're behind them 100%. And I just have decided, oh well, if that goes on my headstone that I got sick while I was protesting, at least it's for a good cause. It's just such a terrible shame to live this long and see the kind of injustice that we're seeing right now.
Raise your hand if you're a mother out here. Yes! Let's give some round of applause!
Hands up, please don't shoot. Hands up, please don't shoot. What we're doing is for the future of all of us in this city.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? And we don't get it? What do we want? Justice! What do we want? We shall overcome someday.
I think it's really important for protesters to make sure that if you're going to be out here marching every night, that when you go back home into your social life and when you go back into your work atmospheres, that you guys are also making sure that that atmosphere is equally diverse as what you're out here protesting for. I think it's really easy to get caught up in the trend and feel like if you go out, you're doing something. But if you're not going home and doing something that's going to make an actual change, whether it's just in your life or somebody else's life, then you're out here marching for nothing, really.
Go home! 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 Go Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
We do this every night.
Let's go right now. Not gonna feel good. Still got me on here.
I think the deployment of federal agents is very excessive. It puts a fearfulness into our city, and we're just going to have to keep standing up.
time you pull that trigger, think about it! Quit your job! Quit your job! Quit your job! Quit your job!
Another major story we're following, NBA players are sitting out tonight's 3 playoff games, an extraordinary move to protest the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. 3 people were shot, 2 fatally, during overnight protests. And tonight, a 17-year-old from out of town is being held on suspicion of first-degree intentional homicide. CBS's Mola Lenghi reports tonight from Kenosha.
The shootings erupted just before midnight. The shooter, alleged to be 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse. It allegedly began when he shot one person in the head at this boarded-up business, then fired on protesters in the middle of the street as they tried to subdue him.
He just shot them!
The gunman is then seen walking past multiple law enforcement vehicles with his hands raised, assault rifle in tow, leaving the scene without being stopped. Today, Rittenhouse was taken into custody in his hometown of Antioch, Illinois, just 15 miles from Kenosha, and is being held on first-degree intentional homicide charges.
2 people are dead. This is not a police action. This is not the action, I believe, of those who set out to do protests.
Earlier in the day, the suspected shooter says he was there to guard the community.
So you guys are full on ready to defend the property?
Yes, we are.
Wednesday evening, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul released the first details into his department's investigation into the Jacob Blake shooting. Kaul said 3 officers were involved in the incident, but only one, Rustin Shesky, fired all 7 shots. Kaul added that Blake admitted to officers that he had a knife and that one was ultimately recovered on the floorboard of the SUV near where Blake was shot. Tonight, all 3 NBA playoff games are on hold after the Milwaukee Bucks boycotted their game just before tip-off. This after Los Angeles Clippers head coach Doc Rivers was noticeably frustrated last night.
We've been hung, we've been shot, and all you do is keep hearing about fear. It's amazing to me why we keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back.
Well, now there's word that baseball's Milwaukee Brewers are canceling their game tonight. Meanwhile, the Kenosha County Sheriff said today that he welcomes peaceful protesters, but warned that law enforcement will, quote, be more assertive with anyone breaking the law tonight, including staying out past curfew, which has been bumped up an hour to 7 p.m. The mayor of Kenosha also said today that armed militias are not welcome, Nora.
All right, Mola Lenghi, thank you.
Out of your house, into the street! Out of your house, into the street! Out of your house, into the street!
Gun! Gun! Hey! Hey! Not on the back of this car, unlicensed.
So as you can tell, they've ripped all the plywood off of the front of the Justice, or of the Federal building, which leaves it exposed.
Put that goddamn fire out. That is a black building, black business owned. Put that goddamn fire out. Black lives matter. Put that fire out on that black owned business right there. That's where they get their fucking weed at. Why would you do this, guys? Why y'all fucking do this? Weed at their highlights. God damn it.
Put it out! Put it out!
This is the Portland Police. You are to disperse now. Riot control agents and impact munitions will be used against you if you fail to comply.
I mean, everyone is just here cleaning after. You guys can see all these buildings have been ransacked. The store right across the street was ransacked. The same guy owns actually these 3 buildings, and he was just very, very upset and disappointed by what happened last night, and he's just looking for answers from his local leaders.
It's time for you to rise up, exterminators, and claim what belongs to you. And in the voice of the old civil rights song, you can't let nobody turn you around. I know you know that song. I ain't gonna let nobody, oh, turn me around. Hey, turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. We're gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up the freedom road. They ain't gonna let nobody, oh, turn me around. They ain't turning me around and gonna let nobody. We're gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up the freedom road.
Portland Police budget has increased 28% over 5 years. In a time when coronavirus decimates this city's budget, every essential service is being cut. Their budget is increasing by 2%. There's a hearing next week. City budget hearing, county budget hearing. It's coming up. We need a change. Every cut we make to services gets filled by cops. When you don't have a place to live, when you suffer the symptoms of poverty, cops show up with control, with surveillance, with violence, with displacement. We don't need it. And y'all listen, because there's a lot of white brothers and sisters in this crowd. Becky and Karen are not just a meme. Every 4 minutes in the city of Portland, someone calls 911 to call cops to an incident where there is no crime being committed. So if you are Karen adjacent, talk to your people. talk to your people.
I got your B, I got your B. Give me an L. I got your L, I got your L. Give me an L. I got your L, I got your L. What does that spell? What does that spell?
We are getting an incredible new look at the CZU Lightning Complex burning in Santa Cruz and San Mateo counties. This time-lapse shows the early stages of the inferno. It captures large flames and smoke. This video was taken by a local photographer near Windy Hill Summit in Portola Valley on the peninsula in San Mateo County, not too far from Skyline Boulevard. He tells Storyful that he recorded the video on August 17th, the day after the incident began. The photographer says the small clip shows how fast this grows and how angry Mother Nature is. He says, "My heart goes out to all the people who are affected by this. Everyone, please be safe and take care."
If you know people that are silent right now, those are no longer your friends. There is no reason to be quiet during this. If they're, oh, I don't need to say something someone else is. Use your fucking privilege. They won't shoot you. They won't kill you. If you're white passing this person like me, stand in front of someone. Don't let them kill your friends. They don't deserve to die. No one deserves to die. There's no reason to be quiet. If you don't donate, if you're not donating, if you're not protesting, if you're not posting, you are not my friend. You are a piece of fucking garbage. How dare you? It's fuck 12, fuck pigs, fuck anyone who thinks it's okay to do this fucking bullshit. I don't care how white passing I am mixed and I'm fucking proud. You cannot take away from my mixedness. You cannot tell me I am not enough. I am more than enough. I am everything. Black is beautiful. Yell, scream, fight! I will continue to fight!
And if you have a black person standing next to you, use your privilege if you're white to protect them. Protect the people next to you!
Crazy how many people had to be brutally murdered for us to even get the National Guard deployed. Look how many people we got. If y'all don't understand how big this is, look behind you. Make some noise!
And this video just into our newsroom showing a man with his hands up being knocked down by police during last night's protest in downtown LA. He is then seen lying on the ground in pain, holding his wrist. This all happened when the crowd was inside a tunnel on 3rd Street between Flower and Hope. They were boxed in by police. That man was later seen being led away by police in handcuffs.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Click the ABC7 logo to subscribe to our Eyewitness News YouTube channel.
Hey, get the fuck out. We don't want you. You broke my fucking glass. Get the fuck out. You here starting trouble. That's all you fucking here for. You want to hit somebody? Hey, let me teach you something. How much money you throw on here? Oh, you want to see fireworks? You're about to see some fireworks. Right. You see it dripping out of your face, right? That's because we bled blood before. You want to bleed blood tonight? Huh? Yeah. So be careful. No crime, no hate, no racist suicide. You put your hands on another black woman, it'll be the last fucking time you see a black woman. You touch some fucking bullhorn. Because you touch that gun, I'm gonna fuck you up. Stop! Don't hit him! You're not hitting him! Stop it! Stop! Let him walk! What the fuck is wrong with you?
Has ordered a curfew of 8 p.m. This is it.
I'm actually kind of nervous now. Are they marching everywhere?
Cry me a river, build me a bridge, and then get the fuck over it!
Yo, dude, what would you say to people that are like, there's children sleeping in houses, there's people who have to go to work tomorrow? What would you say to them?
Some of us have to go to work in the morning too, and we've been out here for 89 days.
Do you have to go to work tomorrow?
No, but most of my family does.
I need to know something right quick. Who gave LeBron James permission to speak on the behalf of the black community? Huh? Just like I thought, nobody. This dude actually had the nerve to say this right here. LeBron James' response to Jacob Blake shooting. We are scared as black people in America. Bruh, really? LeBron, you're not even scared of police in America. You're not afraid in America. Are you kidding me? Dude, you're a joke. You sold your soul for fame and fortune a long time ago, bruh, and you just helped push this race narrative. Why? Because you're part of the problem. You got to do what Big Brother tells you to do. If a certain type of black person wouldn't put themselves in a position to be shot by a cop, it wouldn't happen. Are you kidding me? LeBron, blacks kill each other every day, all day, and you don't say nothing.
Police so racist. Y'all just shot him for no reason. I got everything on camera.